the size of that thing.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the sixth episode of Red 2 Chatter, the podcast about everything Star Wars. I'm your host, Dallin, and I'm joined by my two brothers and other hosts, Jay and Ryan.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And today we have quite a lot to get through today. At least mostly just pictures.
Right, some good stuff came out this past week, so
this is definitely going to be more of a visual podcast. You're definitely going to have to look at the screen in order to follow along. So, Vanity Fair's Star Wars issue has unveiled some amazing and emotional character photos. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is the first one we got here.
So that's a picture of Luke and Rey standing at the
First Jedi Temple. That we learn that that's where they actually are. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just fixing something. Don't mind me.
But it's a pretty, pretty cool picture. Just them very stoic, standing next to each other. You know, with that cool, domed stone hut in the background.
And the typical Jedi, just drab colors.
Right. Yeah. Brown.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, everybody, drab browns. Mostly browns, grays, and tans.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a little spike back there, and I wonder if that's a vaporizer. Or evaporator.
A water vaporator.
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah. Good eye. I didn't even notice that.
I noticed
but
that.
It definitely doesn't look like it's part of that temple, so it looks more of a... It's not, made out of stone. It looks like possibly it could be...
Metallic.
Metallic,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. What's the next one?
Next one is this one.
Now this one is with Rey with the lightsaber. She looks like she's been working out.
Oh yeah,
she's not
you definitely see it in the
not
next
the
photo.
Skinny, gawky, gangly little girl anymore. She's more
right, which is odd because this is
supposed to be right after
minutes after, but maybe this picture's well into her training.
It's the atmosphere of the planet that made her muscle mass.
No, what I'm guessing it is this is well into her training, and she's been working her butt off, and that's the result of hard work.
I like her new garb. Her new, kind of whitish.
Like that lighter colored tunic.
Yeah.
And the armbands.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
doesn't look as bandaged.
Still has her same, the three ponytail type hairdo.
Yeah.
From Force
I like
Awakens.
the planet too. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, the background looks really cool.
Yeah. That's a real place. I'd love to go visit that place.
Oh yeah, me too. Here you go.
Somewhere in Ireland.
We get a good photo of Chewbacca and Rey here.
Inside the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but I believe that is the new actor. His name is, I think he's from Russia or somewhere Eastern European. And I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. Right. But it's no longer going to be
Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew, I believe. I think Chewie's going to have a lot more action scenes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Probably be throwing people around now.
Right.
Like he used to.
But I love this picture. Sort of harkens back to the picture I posted on Facebook with Leia and Chewie hugging after they, escape from... Was that the...
That's after they escape from Death Star.
Escape from the Death Star.
When they after they destroy all the TIE fighters. Yeah. Yep. That's when they hug.
Yeah. It is a really nice picture. And it looks like they're still on the same planet.
Yeah. It's always cool to see the Millennium Falcon's cockpit, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the next favorite.
Very iconic. Here you go. We got the Resistance here.
Yeah.
Got BB-8. We got Poe. We got Rose.
We saw these ones on the covers that we talked about last week on the Vanity Fair covers. I think they just split. They took layout, put her in her own cover, and did the other four.
Yeah.
Characters.
Was BB-8 on that cover?
Yeah.
I thought he was. Maybe thought he was cut out.
Yeah, he was down below by Poe's feet.
Okay.
They did an amazing job editing him out of Leia's though. Because they're standing right by side by side.
They might have taken a separate shot with just Leia.
They probably did.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Right, what's up next?
Next one is this.
This one is the most intriguing one out of all of them, really. I mean, I've seen all those other characters except for Rose. I've seen all those other characters before. This one is like, what is this, and who are these people, and what's the significance of this scene?
Right. I've heard this takes place on a casino type planet, so
it does have that Coruscant feel to it, doesn't it?
Right. Very high
society.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix between Coruscant and Naboo type of.
Yeah, and I wonder if that picture of Leia in her gown, if she's not going to be in this scene,
right?
Wearing that gown,
and in this scene with these other.
Yeah, and if you look down below, you can see one of the puppeteers.
Costume
don't know his name.
Costume designer, something.
He had something to do with
he's holding
making the scene,
like a little fish-looking guy.
But I like to see new, different types of characters too, like the really big, tall guy with horns in the back. That guy's huge.
Yeah, but I would like to see them throw in some familiar ones too.
Yeah, where's my Greedo?
Right. Where's my Ithorians?
Rodians.
Where's my Ithorians? The Hammerheads.
The Hammerheads. Yeah.
Right. Where's those guys?
Give us a little bit of that flavor. Give us all the new flavor. I love the new stuff, but
like that guy right there on the far right.
Far right, yeah.
He's also on the far left of the next picture. Right here, he's right there too.
You're right though. Yeah, I like the expanded, getting more characters, but can we throw in just a few of the original type characters?
Just one or two sprinkled in
species, not necessarily characters, but species.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Hunger Games.
It does kind of look Hunger Games,
especially that dress right
in the middle,
gown right in the middle
there with that black and
also the headdress right at the lower left hand side.
Yeah, with that lady with the big giant headdress that's black and white.
Yeah,
a Who from Whoville,
or Marge Simpson.
Yes.
Well, here you go, Marge Simpson.
You got the droids.
Yeah, all the guys in the droid crew, I'm guessing.
Right, we see all the familiar droids that we're all used to.
Yeah, you got Anthony Daniels without his helmet on.
Yeah.
Right.
That guy's still going. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's awesome, actually. Really
Wait, where's his red arm?
Nope, he doesn't have that anymore. Actually, he didn't have it in the end of Force Awakens. The very last scene you see him in, when Rey's leaving.
Okay. Then what was the point of the red arm?
I think it was just to give him some lines.
I mean,
or something to annoy Han about.
Yeah.
You didn't notice my red arm.
Right. In his comic book, the comic book explains how he got the red arm.
Oh,
if you ever read his little five short
comic book
series. Yeah. Interesting. So you got looks like Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill with their dogs.
Yeah, director Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy
from Lucasfilms. So there looks like they're on the set there.
They're like by a big
looks
ship.
Like maybe a ship. And then I'm trying to even look further into the background.
What I love about this...
That looks like just set stuff back there.
Is seeing Luke and Leia together, but also, seeing like a lived-in set, with the practical effects and the... a giant ship,
constructed, not
right behind
CG back there.
It's cool to see.
See, on-set pictures like this are way more interesting than just seeing, like, an on-set picture of, say, Revenge of the Sith, where you just see a blue screen in the background, and you're like, well, okay. That's cool.
This picture. The feels.
Yes, the feels. It's Billy Lord
and her mom, Carrie Fisher. And it's just a touching photo.
It is.
Very, it's awesome that Annie Leibovitz, who's the photographer all these pictures for Vanity Fair, had the opportunity to capture a moment with Carrie and her daughter, because who knew?
Yeah, he didn't know she was going to pass
away. When she was taking these pictures, who knew? So, a cool moment, really nice picture.
Yeah, and then we get a lot more feels with the next one here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Luke and Leia together, and it's been confirmed that we will see them together on screen.
We'll get into
in
that
the
later.
Last Jedi. Yep, that'll be coming
into that later.
So that's.
I like his glove here.
Right.
And her ring.
Well, that's his hand that got chopped off.
Yeah.
So that also lets you know that I think in that one picture, or in when he's the person touching the Jedi logo, that's going to be Luke.
It's going to be
touching
Luke.
That old
you're right. Yeah, because that looks a lot like that gloved hand on the teaser trailer.
And it is the left hand, so that's touching. So
that makes sense. Okay, so we got
Vice Admiral
Holdo.
Yep. And this is Laura Dern.
Is the actress?
Yep, as the actress.
So apparently she's on the casino.
And
more
Vice
likely
Admiral,
with that,
she's military too. I would guess.
With that gown on, I'm guessing she's at the Maybe that's why Leia goes there to meet with her. I don't know.
Maybe she's invited by her.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And also,
we'll see what happens
with her. Just her facial expression here. You got to wonder what her personality is going to be like.
I like the purple hair.
I do like the I like
and the gown. And the gown,
really. Elegant. I just like the colors in general. It's very lilac and very pretty. Here we got DJ.
Yep, Benicio Del Toro's character DJ.
No,
that's in quotation marks. DJ.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't have a. They haven't sent out the name of what his real name is.
Right. My guess is DJ is not his name. Could be initials, but not his name.
Not his name. Yeah.
He looks like a smuggler type.
Well, but they
it's hard to tell. He looks like he's from the old West.
Maybe. Yeah.
But again, the lived-in set. Look at the
look at the pieces behind him.
Yeah, this is awesome. I
Very
can't wait.
Industrial looking.
It looks like the place in Rogue One. When Cassian meets up with that dude.
Yeah, it does. Like that planet. Even.
Yeah,
that planet.
It could be that planet. So second to last one.
Space station planet.
Oh, Kylo Ren, man, one of my favorite villains.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's looking good with that.
Got his lightsaber back. Yeah, thank goodness. I was hoping they wouldn't change that.
Yeah, because it looked like Rey chopped it.
Yeah, it destroyed it. But
at the end of the Force Awakens, it looks like he rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Still looks like it looks like the cracked kyber crystal.
Looks like it's got the same hilt with the exposed wires.
Right.
On it.
Yeah.
But he's got a longer cape though now.
Yeah.
You can see. It's not so like that ragged cloth he was wearing. It looks a lot sleeker.
Yeah. Then last one is the villains.
The villains.
Hux looks so good, dude. He looks so good.
he can get that just kind of the evil stare going. He's like the actor.
Yeah.
Donald Gleason.
Is that his name? He's
good. He can just get that like evil stare.
Just like you can just tell he's like a sinister piece of crud.
Yeah, exactly.
Has no feelings, no conscience. He's just.
In fact, he can
he'll kill whoever he needs to get.
Kind of get that with all of them.
He's kind of got that air of Tarkin to him.
Yeah.
He's sort of just always has that look on his face. Very serious, but like, I'm going to get my way. You're not getting your way.
Yep. And then Captain Phasma, one of my favorite characters too.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot more from her, and I think we will.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So overall, what do we think of the?
Just the beautiful pictures,
Yeah.
Overall, and
just makes me want to see the movie. Can't wait till December.
I want to see the pictures like moving now. Like,
I
want to see more trailers or.
I want to see a new trailer.
I just want to see the movie.
Yeah.
December can't get here fast enough.
I'm excited for the new trailer though. Should be coming out relatively soon. Right?
Yeah.
July, June.
June,
July.
I'm trying to think of what
movies are coming out.
What Disney movies are coming out that they might try to put a
trailer onto.
Trailer at the beginning of.
So delay the trailer.
Right.
I don't know. Well, it could be Ragnarok or
could be
one of those.
It
one
could
of the
even
Marvels.
be Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
They're part of that with Sony.
Yeah.
Could be.
All right. So overall, like the covers.
Oh yeah. Great photos.
All right. From Comic-Con of Chile, Pablo Hidalgo, the creative executive at Lucasfilm, revealed some little tidbits during the Q&A session. First, he stated that Luke is at the first Jedi Temple on Ahch-To.
So that was
Ahch-To.
That's where Rey comes in to meet him.
Yeah, where Rey finds him in The Force Awakens.
Yep.
And also reveals that they are not alone on the island. The island has inhabitants that serve as caretakers for the temple. So we're going to go through one of these one at a time. So first, let's just talk about that one.
I kind of want to see what these characters look like that are the caretakers. I mean, that's sort of the intriguing part of this to me. I kind of assumed that was the first temple that...
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
What I'm thinking
he found the first temple and that's where he was.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe they're going to be like Jawa-sized or Ewok-sized type creatures that run around.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fairly short.
Yeah,
Me too. I think they're going to be small, but something we haven't seen before.
Sort of Ugnaught size.
Yeah, Ugnaught.
It'll be something we haven't seen before, so... I'm really sort of excited to see what that's going to be like.
See the new designs.
Right, and sort of their relationship with Luke.
Yeah, because he's been there for a while now, so I'm sure they've got some sort of relationship going.
Yeah. Alright, so secondly, he said that the characters played by Laura Dern, Vice Admiral Holdo, and Benicio Del Toro, DJ in quotation marks, shouldn't be judged by their appearances. So what do you think of that? Now,
well, from the I'm guessing he's talking about from the Vanity Fair. So I'm guessing more than likely with the Vice Admiral is don't think she's like some wearing gowns, friggin' princessy. She's gonna be more of a Leia type ass kicker.
Yeah.
Right.
Pardon my French.
Right, sort of have like a more like a stronger character.
Yeah, and just a tough.
Right. Maybe even have sort of like a bad side to her. I mean, if you see her from the back, she just looks very elegant in that picture. But maybe she has sort of
maybe something happens in the casino that kind of
like a bad temper or
that kind of
short fuse, and she can just go off on you. Yeah. So we'll see. Yep. And then Benicio Del Toro, I'm thinking maybe you're looking at him going, that guy looks like he's going to be a bad guy. Maybe he's not a bad guy. Maybe he's going to be he's a guy that can work both sides. He's going to be a guy that works the First Order and he works the Resistance
Right, he looks sort of like he's out for himself.
Yeah.
And so he's sort of like working both sides.
But maybe he's willing to sacrifice.
Maybe he can't be trusted all the time.
Now, with Benicio Del Toro, I love the guy, but
the actor's my goodness, one of my favorite actors.
Oh my goodness, he can pull off that kind of smug, arrogant look so well.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what's in that picture, is just this smug looking, like...
cocky.
Yeah. Right. Like you kind of want to punch him in the face at times, Like that's what he seems like. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I personally think he might be a smuggler. That's my guess. Thirdly, he confirmed that we will see Captain Phasma without her helmet, but the Vanity Fair photos aren't exactly how we will see her in the film. So I'm guessing not so done up.
Yeah, not all the styling done by the stylist on the set of the Vanity Fair photo shoot.
Right. I think she'll be a little more disheveled, maybe even have some scars.
Well, she's got to have helmet hair. Come on, she's wearing a helmet all the time. You can't pull that off and it's like perfect hair. Right. Like some movies I've seen where they've done that and they pull the helmet off. It's like, come on, you can't have hair that looks like that under that helmet.
It's gonna be all matted down.
Yeah, it's already matted. It should be. That's how it should be. It should be matted down and kind of grungy looking. Yeah, if you're gonna be wearing the helmet.
Have some blaster like.
She might even have one of those, like a hood, like you see inside that you wear inside the helmet. So all you really have is your face, but the rest of it's.
Yeah.
Sort of like medieval type, like have that sort of like underlayer.
Yeah, like the chainmail. The chainmail hood that they have. That would make sense.
I'm excited to see her without her
helmet.
I want to kicking some ass.
Yes. I want to see some action from Captain Phasma
instead of her just like telling them to kill the villagers. I want to see her killing the villagers.
Yeah.
With that staff, if that's possible. I want to see her using that staff and just whooping the crap out of somebody.
Whooping. That's what I want to see.
Maybe there could be an epic battle between her and Chewbacca. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, there could be.
That would be pretty cool. The two tallest on either side.
She kind of owes him one.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for throwing her both apparently in the trash compactor. You don't know
Han's
if that's happened.
Dead, so she can only go after
Finn or Chewbacca.
Which she does have a thing against Finn, so I wouldn't doubt to see something happen there. But I'd love to see Chewbacca and freaking Captain Phasma just in a epic battle against each other.
Maybe like
without guns. I mean, just
maybe
fisticuffs.
I hate
weapons.
I hate this movie, but like the scene in X-Men Apocalypse between Beast and Psylocke. Remember that part at all?
Yeah.
I want to see like a fight like that between the two. Where they're throwing each other around.
That would be pretty good.
It would be pretty cool. Okay, so lastly, he said that Luke and Leia will have a scene reuniting them together. We saw that in the Vanity Fair pictures.
Right, and I assumed that would happen in the movie, and I'm glad it is happening in the movie, because we'll never see it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, now that will be that's going to be a tearjerker in the theater.
Yeah, I hope they, have a decent build up to that moment so we can prepare ourselves.
Yeah. In fact,
and a moment of like
I want it to be
relief afterwards where there's not much going on, so we can kind of like decompress a little.
And I hope it's not like it's like heat of the battle type thing, and they just kind of hey, how's it? I want to see more of an emotional reunion,
right?
I mean, between
brother and sister,
from that hug on the Vanity Fair.
They haven't seen each other in in 30 years or whatever it was.
Well, they haven't seen each other since everything went down at the temple that Luke was trying to start. And he went hiding. So I think it's been about 7 years.
Okay, so not as long as I thought.
But I bet you anything though, at the end of this movie, there's probably gonna be before the whole the credits. There's probably gonna be a little bit of a thing like in loving memory of Carrie Fisher. There's most likely.
I'm sure that there's got to be, and you might even get who was the other person that passed away from Star Wars? The guy who played R2-D2 passed away within
Kenny Baker,
right within the last year.
Was that the year before?
Or was it
before this movie's coming out?
Yeah.
I think it was before The Force Awakens.
Or after The Force Awakens. It was after The Force Awakens.
But before this movie.
Yeah. I think it was before Rogue One came out.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, next one is reports say there is no outright budding romance subplot for The Last Jedi. Thoughts? I don't care.
Good.
I'm okay with this. They've done it in Empire Strikes Back between Han and Leia. There was sort of that budding romance starting to begin.
Yeah.
There,
and it continued right into
I Love You, I Know.
Return of the Jedi. Yep.
Right. I Love You, I Know again on Endor.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the other way around.
Yeah.
So there was that, and that worked out really well. It was very natural feeling. Like
prequels with Anakin and Padme.
No
those were some of the worst scenes in those movies. But that's for another day.
By far.
But so my thoughts are, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, those
not happening in this movie.
There doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't happen in this one. Doesn't even really need to happen in the next one if you don't want it to.
Nope.
Yeah, and
that's not what Star Wars is about. It's not a love story.
Yeah. More producers need to realize that, and more writers need to realize that.
Not everything's a love story.
Yeah.
All right. So reports are stating that Snoke may remain a mystery figure throughout the Last Jedi. Thoughts?
I'm okay with this one too.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
We didn't learn anything about the Emperor in the original trilogy
until
Return of the Jedi.
Yep, you didn't know. And you just knew he was there.
You just saw,
and you saw a hologram of him talking to Darth Vader.
Right.
But that's
so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them focusing more on Luke
and
Kylo.
Right.
Yeah.
And that part of it, and leaving Snoke for later.
Yeah,
the big question mark.
Keep him a mystery. Keep it a mystery, and that keeps people thinking and
talking about
speculating.
it.
Who is he? What is he? What does he do?
Right. So. Sure, is it going to upset some people? Sure. They'll get their panties in and out, and then they'll get over it.
Yep.
However, there is this is a good transition to our Tashi toy box. For you see, in the Last Jedi Lego sets have revealed some interesting details, including Snoke. And the First Order version of BB-8. So we're going to go over to there right now, and we're going to take a look at them. So let me go over. After all these tabs. And then we'll go take a look at them. We'll put it in full screen. Okay, so there we have... Hold on. I'm going to go all the way back to the very beginning.
So we're going to go back to all of the new stuff that's coming out from Legos and the Star
Resistance
Wars.
Bomber.
Yep, it's a Resistance Bomber. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. It's not... it's definitely Star Wars looking.
I think it's that picture we saw...
Of those ones that dropped down?
Of those ones that we saw on the set, those set photos, those like leaked set photos we saw that we talked about last week. I think that's one of them.
Oh, it might be.
It does kind of look.
It kind of does look like that, but the problem I have with the problem I have with it though is I swear I saw stormtroopers using that in that.
Maybe that was just a throw.
Maybe throw people off. Because you're right, it does kind of look like that from the front, the side, the back, and the
maybe
bottom.
They were just using the stormtroopers as size comparisons.
Maybe just use them as to scale.
Yeah. Okay, so next one. Okay. Here is the
Star Destroyer.
Definitely looks a little different.
Looks a little sleeker.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that big, huge tower on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that it didn't like glitch up. Okay, here's the super AT-ATs, or the heavy assault walkers.
So yeah, definitely bigger, larger. And we're looking at toys here. You're kind of guessing on what it's going. I mean,
their front legs are higher up on the shoulder.
And the back legs, are further down.
Maybe that will help, like any sort of
tripping,
ability to trip
them, and get the cables around them.
They took notes from the Empire
Strikes Back and said, "Hey, we got to get rid of this. Be able to take us down with cables."
Yeah, we have to learn our lessons.
It's like, sir, I found a design flaw. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
it looks cool.
I'll be buying that one. That one's pretty cool.
It's like, fool me once, shame on.
And I do like the look of the AT driver, or the whatever these are called.
Yeah, he sort of looks like
a heavy assault walker.
Yeah,
he looks like a first order trooper, but he's got like a stripe down his helmet. Right. Pretty cool.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. That's pretty cool. And a gray outfit like they had in the original. The other ones. Yeah.
So I guess this is maybe not. No,
that's
never mind.
Resistance Trooper.
He was in Force Awakens. They were in Force Awakens.
I do like though how
and you can see Rey, and she has a different haircut.
Yep. Yeah, she has it down.
Hey, it's Captain
Poe
Dameron. He's moving up.
He's moving up in the world.
Moving up in the world.
After Hosnian Prime bit the dust, he's got plenty of openings.
Yeah,
they lost a lot of guys when they attacked too.
Yeah,
right.
Not too many of them made it back out.
Okay, so here we got most of the Resistance with that ship that we saw earlier.
We see Vice Admiral Holdo in there.
We got just Poe Dameron, so maybe during the movie he gets a promotion.
To Captain, maybe.
And Resistance Gunner Paige, that is Rose's sister.
Yes.
Yep. We got the Resistance Bombardier. And the Resistance bomber pilot. So that is a bomber, then. Must be. But right here, she is, holding a pistol. She's ready to fight. So I think Vice Admiral Holdo will definitely...
We'll see some action.
We'll see some action.
Not just be a Admiral Akbar in his little chair. Hey, it's a trap! It's a trap!
Yeah, or...
She'll actually be maybe on the ground fighting, you don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Or the other one from Raddus.
Oh, Captain Raddus.
Or Admiral
Raddus.
So
from his Rogue One.
He had the same feel as Akbar.
Akbar, yeah.
Now, one thing I've
just
noticed...
barking commands. I like to see an Admiral that gets out there and kicks some butt.
Right. Yeah. One thing that I've kind of noticed is another thing, how we were talking about in one of the earlier episodes of something that we've never seen is a one-on-one dogfight in Star Wars. We've never seen a boarding fight either, where they board the other enemy ship.
Right there at the very beginning of New Hope, man. That's what those guys opening up the thing.
I guess,
the stormtroopers come rushing in. Those guys are shooting them.
But I mean, could you imagine a boarding battle against a Star Destroyer?
Oh, the
other way around.
The other way around.
Yeah.
Now we haven't seen that.
Where
you get the Resistance boarding onto one of their big Star Destroyers and they're going through and fighting through all of that. Right. That would be interesting.
Yeah. We saw,
especially how
you saw Anakin and you saw Obi-Wan get on to what's his name ship?
Newt
General Grievous.
Yeah, and they were on Newt Gunray's ship at the beginning, and they got invited, and then they got attacked.
Well, I mean, a big boarding party. A huge, not just, two people going in.
Something more like a, old school pirates versus friggin', they swing across, but not swinging across, of course, but that kind of battle where you're fighting...
Little swashbuckler style.
Yeah, it's more swashbuckler style. That would be interesting.
It would be very cool to see. Okay, and then now we get
to the baddies.
We got the First Order officer. I like his kind of Russian-like hat.
I didn't even notice that.
It's got kind of a...
I think we see
Hux
wear one of those when he's giving his speech. He's wearing a hat similar to that.
Yeah.
We got the First Order shuttle pilot who looks just like the Empire shuttle pilot.
Pretty much. I mean, it's not much difference there. And then
we got
First Order troopers.
And then there's the sergeant. So what's the difference?
He's got the little thing on his shoulder.
He's got a little pad.
He's got the white pad thing that's on one shoulder.
Shoulder pad.
Yeah. And then finally we got Supreme Leader Snoke looking like he just got out of the bath.
Or in his pajamas.
But that right there tells me that he's as tall as a person. It's not. He's not short.
He's not little.
He's not huge.
And he's not huge. He's person size.
Of course, because Legos usually does pretty well.
When they have the Hulk, he's that He's way bigger than the other characters.
That's supposed to be like
I have ones where I have Jawas, and the Jawas are smaller than everybody else.
I mean, he looks shorter than
that's just because he doesn't have a helmet.
I guess
have a helmet.
Yeah.
And then
we got BB-9E.
9E, that's the evil BB-8 type.
Which I wonder if he's gonna play any significance in anything. It would be kind of cool to finally see, outside of the cartoons, kind of a more evil droid.
Yeah. Or the comic books.
Of course, you see him running around the Imperial, ships in the old movies.
But I'd like to see him maybe used
as bad guys,
right? Yeah. Utilized,
like Goldie was in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that.
That's a Clone.
It was Clone Wars. And I think that's it for all of the pictures
for the new Legos that are coming out.
Yeah, the new Legos. So what do you guys think overall of, just your thoughts and stuff?
The one thing Lego does really well is they get their stuff accurate.
Oh, yeah. They try to stay true to the show, to the movies.
Props to them, because however they come up with those things is amazing. Like all the little parts and stuff.
Oh, that's why they're so expensive, though. Because it takes engineers to friggin' figure that stuff out. It's like actual people that went to school to be structural engineers are the people that work at Lego to create those and design those. It's amazing.
Impressive.
I'm sure they get paid really well.
Oh, yeah, they do. They get paid. I'm sure they get paid real well.
But, yeah, I really like them. I think they are very interesting. And then we got some unboxings to do, so let's get those.
So, Jay and I went to Sideshow Collectibles and pre-ordered one way back almost a year ago now.
Right.
Pre-ordered.
Probably over a year ago.
Over a year ago. We both pre-ordered the 4 Loom 6-scale figure. We'll put up some pictures of them so everybody can see. So, I'm going to open mine right now. This is the first time I've looked at it, so we'll see what we have. Try not to tear the box. Try not to tear the box. Try not to tear the box.
just be careful.
Okay, so we can look at them from the
we can look at them from the window.
Through the clear plastic window.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get this thing. This was a bad idea. Okay, here we go. I got it open.
I was about to ask if you wanted to have me go get some scissors.
I'm not cutting the box, dude. The box is part of it.
Just doesn't it have tape on it?
a little bit, damn it. That's all right.
Doesn't it have tape on it?
It's alright. I don't plan on selling mine. So.
Me neither.
Come on, man. They can put him in there tight.
Yeah, he's in there pretty... He's in there pretty secure.
That's good, though.
They secured him. Oh, there we go. Finally got him.
Less problems in shipping when they're that secure.
Yeah. Less tumble and rumble about.
Those plastic things are always tight, man.
Yeah.
They wedge them in there. So there's the...
They have to pop them in.
Base.
There's his base.
I gotta put him on. Got a pretty big base there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll fit in my Detolf case.
There we go.
IKEA.
There it is.
We have liberated him from the packaging.
The compounds.
His plastic coffin.
Yeah. Hold on, he's still stuck in his plastic coffin.
Just have to pop him out through his neck.
Of course, we all know Forlone as the droid.
Bounty hunter. Second
That's
droid.
not IG-88.
Yeah, second droid bounty hunter.
Yeah, so he looks very much like C-3PO.
3PO body.
But a definitely alien-looking head.
Apparently, in Legends anyway, his protocol chip got destroyed, and someone refitted him with a bounty hunter type personality. So
okay, so they got those little actuators there on his arms. You know, C-3PO always looks like he can't bend his arms. They've made it so this guy can bend his arms. Yeah. So he can actually hold a gun and shoot somebody if he was a bounty hunter.
Yeah. I love his eyes. His green.
Yeah. And his little breathing tubes or whatever those are. And
I think you can
giant green bulbing eyes.
What's this?
But he definitely looks C-3PO all the way around.
Right. The body, legs, arms, they're all
C-3PO. It's basically just but different color. It's definitely the head that makes him stand out as as a different...
And his rifle, of course, is huge. And, you know, one of the interesting things about Forlome is when he first came out in the toys, they Hasbro, right?
Yeah.
Or it's Kenner.
Kenner back then.
They
mislabeled him.
They just mixed up. Yeah, they swapped
the names, not the pictures. The pictures were correct on the cards, but the names were wrong. So Forlome had the Zuckuss name, and Zuckuss had the Forlome name.
So he's got his big giant gun, and he comes with 2 extra hands.
For years, I think people were calling this figure Zuckuss.
Yeah.
But he's actually Forlome. Because he's a robot. Well, mostly a robot.
It's actually 4-LOM.
Yeah.
Forlome. Like C3PO.
Yeah.
It's 4-LOM.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a robot. Well, mostly. He looks organic on the head, though.
Yeah, he does.
He may have an organic head.
Yeah, but his body.
I don't know a whole lot about him.
Me neither. There's not much known about him, really.
I only really know about his, the whole protocol chip thing, and that's in Legends, so who knows?
Yep.
What that's even about.
Pretty cool, though.
Looks pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get him home and get him next to my Boba Fett.
He's got his his extra hands, and here's his stand.
Yep.
There. And then you also got Smuggler's Bounty, don't you?
Yep, so we'll take a picture of all this stuff and put it up sort of as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So then I also got my Smuggler's Bounty from Funko Pop came in. And then start off with looking at the patch. Looks like we have a 40th anniversary patch. And it looks like might be Luke Skywalker. It's hard to tell. It's definitely a TIE Fighter pilot.
Yeah, it looks like Luke in his Red 5.
There's some Oramesh gear.
And the pin is Chewbacca this month. Or
Chewbacca.
These come every other month.
Yeah, and if you guys...
Oh no! 4 moons down! 4 moons down!
No!
If you guys are interested in the Smuggler Bounty and you're not getting it, Funko does... They send some pretty cool stuff.
Another big one, man. I don't have any room for these big ones. So
it's Luke and his...
It's Luke and his speeder for one of the vinyl top heads. Tatooine speeder. That's pretty cool, though.
That is pretty cool.
It'll go good with the Han Solo on his Tauntaun.
Right.
Also, didn't you get the one with Rey on her speeder?
I have the
Jay
Rey.
has the...
That
came from Celebration.
Yeah. That'll go well with yours.
And then I also... Looks like they sent to me a Han Solo and a Greedo.
Han shot first.
Han did shoot first.
Which one shot first?
Oh, they're...
Those salt and pepper shakers.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet Uncle.
Nice.
Which one is gonna be salt? Which one's gonna be pepper? Do you think?
I'd make Han Solo pepper and Greedo would be the salt.
Salty.
But you can do it.
He's salty.
Yeah. I think it'll depend on the holes on the top.
That's usually how it works. I can't. They're like these. I might open this up to use them, but they'll probably just go on the shelf with everything else. And then looks like wristbands. Is this wristbands?
Some sweat wristbands?
I don't know. Maybe they're telling me something. I need to lose some weight and start exercising.
Well,
need to burn off.
Yep, that's exactly what they are, man. Sweatbands.
Sweet. I'm wearing mine.
Says Star Wars on them.
It's pretty cool.
I'll be wearing mine to
that's everything
Salt Lake City Comic Con when we go there.
Well, I think you got a pretty good hold.
Because I have to wait till I get back to my house to
You guys
open
are
my
always
stuff.
complaining though that you don't get like some of the stuff that I get in my loot animes. You know, like my sweatpants and
socks and stuff. I would like to see.
Yeah, I do like I'd rather have more of the socks or like down. Like down got like some no t-shirt.
Huh, that's pretty odd.
That's odd because that's the first time I've ever not gotten a.
I get a lot of
t-shirt.
We usually get a t-shirt.
I like to get like Dallin got some pajamas out of his anime loot crate. I like to get something like some Star Wars. Give me some Star Wars pajama bottoms, man.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
By the way, if you guys are interested in my loot anime and what I got this month, go check out the other podcast, Spiels to Reels. I do it with my sister. Link down in the description below, and also it's in the related channels in our channel. Alright, so that's it for Tashi Toy Box, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any nothing new, no new toys coming out that I know of.
Yeah, I saw a report that a Walmart in Canada had Wave 4 Rogue One stuff. Like, come on!
Canada? Can we get some here in the Midwest?
Canada!
Can we get some in the Mountain West out here? The desert Southwest states?
Yeah.
Canada?
I can't drive to Canada to just go hunting toys. I'm not rich.
Right.
But yeah, that's it for Toshi Toy Box, I guess, for this week. So we get going on to Gaming with Gamorreans. We get our first look at the gameplay of Battlefront 2. How limited it will be, about 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
But all of us saw it, right?
Yeah, we all looked at it.
I basically watched it about 5 times, just trying to look at everything. and there's not much to look at.
They just loop it like a second or 2 seconds.
It's like a micro clip. It's not even a clip. It's like it's like 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds.
You don't really get to see much. Anything.
You just see whoever you are hitting one of those guys in the white helmet from the...
And then like a door opens and then there's another guy.
It's a very...
That's all you see.
It's very similar ship of Tantive
4.
Tantive 4.
Which is Princess Leia's ship.
Yeah, but it can't be the Tantive 4. Unless that's maybe the tutorial level.
Well, there's a lot of those Tantive 4s.
Who knows what part of the game that is.
True. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of those Tantive 4.
Yeah. The blockade runner.
The blockade runner. There's a lot of those types of ships.
Yeah, so it is definitely going to be interesting, though, because you're definitely killing rebels. You're definitely just gunning down rebels.
Right.
And I like that. Guy. I like that. Well, you're the hero of your own story.
I'm pretty sure we'll get a whole lot more of the gameplay revealed at E3 coming up.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, E3.
I wish I could go to E3.
But... Oh, E3 would be fun.
Well, maybe if we get this channel going, we could be invited to go to
Hey.
E3.
Subscribe, people. Subscribe.
Yes,
give us some likes. Subscribe. Yes, we're begging.
Yes, but remember, we're begging only to bring more content to you.
Right.
Yep. New and so if we can go to E3, guess what?
We can get all that content and put it on the channel. Go to D23. Now we could go to that.
We could, yeah.
As fans, you don't have to be invited. That's not an industry only thing.
Yeah. So. Bam. That's about it. For that, it's just it's very short, and you don't really see much. For some reason, the door is like very light blue. I noticed that, so I'm guessing that was just kind of like a test.
That could have been a beta.
Yeah, it could have been just a very they could have just not put any graphic on that door yet.
Right.
So
that could have been sort of a beta test. Who knows when that clip was?
And we have
recorded.
We got about like 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want it, guys?
We don't have any real goal on time, but we can go into a little bit of our thoughts on Attack of the Clones.
Let's just get this review of Attack of the Clones out of the way, so we can move on to a better movie.
The third one is
I think we all know how this review is going to go. I think you all out there know how this review is going to go.
By far, my least favorite Star Wars movie.
By far, the worst prequel movie.
It's
the worst prequel. My least favorite
Star Wars anything.
I would
even throw in the Christmas special.
I would rather watch. Wait, really? I would rather watch the Christmas special, and I would rather watch Droids, the cartoon.
Dude. Okay, I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, we might be going a little far. If you have never seen the Christmas special, look for it and watch it.
You can find the full YouTube. You can find the full thing on YouTube.
Oh man,
it's awesome.
George Lucas will hate you for it, but trust me, you need to see it.
Oh yeah, it's
if you have never seen it, you should probably sit through it. It is the first ever appearance of Boba Fett.
It is.
It is the first appearance of Boba Fett.
So weird.
It is strange.
Yes.
But
okay, so. I'm going to start off with the parts I actually liked about this movie.
Okay, good.
I liked the parts with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's more of like a mystery or
detective.
He's a detective. He's looking for clues because he goes to Kamino and he's trying to figure out what's this clone army and why was this created and why was it. And then later on, he's chasing General Grievous around. Is that that's this?
No,
one.
That's the third one. That's the third one.
He's chasing Jango Fett around.
Yeah, Jango Fett. Yeah, he fights Jango Fett. So that part of the movie I actually enjoy. He goes and he talks to his friend because he's got after Sam Wessel gets killed, he's trying to figure out who killed her because she tried to kill Padme. You know, it's like a detective almost movie.
And then he goes to Geonosis and gets captured by Count Dooku, and he finally figures it out. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. But that whole part is...
That story arc
is good.
Yes,
is the best part
of the movie. Yeah.
And one of the better story arcs of the prequels. He's just surrounded by such crap.
The love story between Padme and friggin' Anakin. That's the crap.
That is the crap.
If I could just watch the Obi-Wan stuff, I'd watch that movie way more often than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
It's just... Look, okay,
just listening to you guys groan and moan is like, it's frustrating.
I get what you like.
I get what they were trying to do.
Yes,
they had to set it up.
You had to have Padme and Anakin get together because without them, Luke and Leia would never be alive.
But the chemistry between the two was terrible.
Yeah.
The friggin' writing, and I won't put this on the actors. The writing was horrible. The dialogue was terrible. Whoever wrote that dialogue is horrible.
Especially when they go back to Naboo.
I will admit, I don't
the Naboo scenes are terrible. I can't watch them. I mean, I sat through it not too long ago because I've been watching them from 1 all the way up to Force Awakens.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, so I threw Rogue One in there too, but I had to watch it. And I watched the whole thing. I didn't fast forward through it or anything. I put up with it, but it's just God, it's terrible.
Both of us watched it. And like this, I will say that this Hayden Christensen's acting isn't quite there yet on this movie. He's way better in number 3, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, way better.
I guess he kind of worked on it a little bit more.
Yeah, he matures.
Yeah. But in this one, he does get a few, actually kind of well-written lines that are a bit like, yikes, like, you could have put a little bit more emotion into that. I mean, I know, the Jedi Code, there is no emotion, but, you could put a little bit more emotion into that. And, one part that I do like about this movie that, especially during the beginning, is the chemistry between him and Obi-Wan. That is something that has always been really good in these movies, is the friendship between those two is always really good. Like the joking, the back and forth between the two of them, especially in number 3, but we'll get to that. But yeah, in this one it works too. Like when Padme's sleeping and they kind of have a little bit of banter between the two of them.
Oh, right before she gets attacked?
Or when they're chasing Sam Wessel. And like Obi-Wan's like, oh.
See, I like those scenes.
Yeah.
It's like we said a while ago back, like in a pre-production type meeting we did, you said anytime they go to Naboo, that's when the movie falls apart.
Anytime they mention Naboo.
Or the mention of Naboo is there. That's true. Like,
watch it. Watch it. Like, anytime you hear or they're on Naboo or they're talking about Naboo, it's just horrible.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. It's terrible.
Like in number 3, like the scene was going well. I was having high hopes for it. Then Padme looks at Anakin and goes, "Hold me, like you did in Naboo," and I'm like, "Shut up!"
They just said
No. You had a good scene and you had to ruin it.
Yeah, you could have just said, just hold me. Yeah. That's all you needed.
Leia did.
Yeah, not like on Naboo. And then as soon as you threw that line in there, it just
and then the corny music comes on and you're like, oh my goodness, please stop.
That's one thing I do like about this movie is the score.
Yes.
It's really good. Like in all of the movies.
Yeah, yes. John Williams is the best.
The score is awesome. I do like the part where Anakin goes back to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't try to save his mom.
They don't try to do love story crap there, though. That's why it works.
Yeah. Right. And I do like the part where they're on Geonosis.
They're fighting for their lives there. That's totally different.
Yeah.
I don't like the part where they're coming out of the tunnel. Like, God, just...
Yeah, when they kiss, when they're coming out of the tunnel.
Shut up.
Like, right?
That was another, basically, mention of, like,
Naboo.
I don't think they mentioned Naboo,
but it was implied.
Yes, it was implied in that scene. It was just
right. Anytime, and like I just saw a picture on Facebook the other day of Vanity Fair pictures, which we talked a lot about this time, of that movie.
Yeah.
You know, leading up to that movie, they had some promotional pictures, and Anakin is with Padme in a photo, and you could tell in the photo between the two actors, there's no chemistry.
Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen.
Like she's like doesn't want him to touch her, and he has to, and it's like that awkward it's like kids in middle school.
Yeah,
where like
middle school play. You know, yeah. The middle school play.
Those poor awkward kids in middle school.
I mean, like,
and I do put some of that on those two actors because you have to freaking be able to overcome that and be
even if you don't like each other.
Even if you don't, I don't know. They may be good. They may have been good friends, but liked each other. Their chemistry was terrible. And they just it didn't look like they never wanted to work at it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, in my opinion, the absolute worst scene in this entire movie was the scene by the fire in like Padme's living room.
Oh no, that wasn't the worst.
No, I think it is.
The worst scene is when he jumps on that back of that thing and then falls off, and then Padme's like, "Oh, Harry!" and runs over there, and he's like laughing, like, oh god,
that's a terrible scene.
That's the worst scene.
How about the terrible CGI with the pear that's floating up in the air, and he cuts it in half, and then sends it
that's the second worst.
That's the second worst. Those are two of the worst scenes. Those are terrible.
Oh. I mean, it is painful to watch.
It is. It's painful to watch.
And then you get to the good parts, and it's like the good parts just can't elevate the movie enough.
Yeah, you can't.
It can't dig it out of the hole
because as soon as it starts digging it out of that hole, it drops you back into Naboo, and it's like, oh.
Now, one part I will admit I really liked was like the only part that made me forget about the Naboo scenes was the fight between Count Dooku and Yoda, because I'm like, yes,
Well, I even like the fight between
Anakin
and Count Dooku, and that whole pursuit.
Yeah.
When they go after him, I love that part. Padme falls out of. That's like the first time you actually see emotion. Like, Padme falls out of the.
Yeah, and he gets
out of the ship, and he like wants to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the first time you like actually see a connection between the two.
Really. When they're not together.
Right, when they're not together.
When they're separated is the only time you see chemistry between the two.
A little bit in the Geonosian like pit, that they're fighting in when he jumps down on the back of that one beast and all that, all that stuff. Or she does. When she comes down.
Yeah.
A little bit there, but then she kissed him on the cheek. Oh, God.
Then you ruined it.
Yeah, they ruined
it again. You were going good. And then, bam, ruined it.
It's just like, oh my goodness. But like, there's good parts about this movie too. There's the whole
the Obi-Wan
stuff is great. The part where he goes and slaughters all the Tusken Raiders is good, and it's a great scene. The part where he buries his mother is a great scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
it's the Naboo stuff, man. Almost everything on Naboo is what makes that movie not. It just drags it down.
It is funny because there is only one part in Revenge of the Sith where between Padme and Anakin where I actually went, and it was that part where they mentioned Naboo. Yeah. But like other than that, all the rest of the scenes with Padme and Anakin are good.
Right, they have more chemistry in the next
Revenge
movie.
of the Sith.
We'll talk about that when we get to that review.
One of my favorite bad lines is where she's like talking about going on some school trip.
Oh my goodness! Don't even mention.
Right?
And he's like, we swam out into the lake.
Yeah. that whole dialogue was just badly written.
What was the kid's name?
Pablo or whatever.
Pablo.
Pablo. Like her first love or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I just get this like Antonio Banderas type of character in my mind.
Natalie Portman's an excellent actress. If you've seen her in
Thor,
almost anything else.
Thor's pretty. She's pretty.
She was pretty young. It was one of her first.
Yeah, it was one of her first films. Some people are here or there about Thor.
I mean, I don't like her character, but I thought she did good. I don't like Jane as a character, but I think she did good in Thor.
But and I know this movie didn't get a whole lot of love, but Jane Got a Gun. It's a Western with her in it. I actually like her performance in that movie.
Mm-hmm. V for Vendetta. She was
great.
She was great in that movie.
Black Swan, if you haven't seen that, is like probably her best acting
with Mila
performance.
Kunis.
Yeah.
Very
dark movie.
Yes.
But she has the acting chops. I just think there was a whole lot of story problems, dialogue problems,
and no chemistry.
Directorial
problems. Yeah, there's just.
Let's put some of this on Lucas's shoulders.
Yeah, bad directing, bad writing.
He could have got more out of the actors if he wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, it was all about the special effects, dude.
Yeah. So
I think we've trashed on Clone
Wars enough.
Or
so
Attack of the Clones enough.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to give it a rating, I'd give it like a 2 out of 5.
Oh, yeah, if you want to see good stuff between Anakin and Padme, watch Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
great.
That's some great stuff there.
Yeah, that's great romance right there.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yep.
Yeah, they actually make sense.
Well, the writing's better.
Yeah, and the writing's better. But, yeah, if I were to give it a rating, I'd give it like 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm in the...
2. I'd give it a 2 out of 5.
2 floating pairs out of 5.
Yeah, two floating pairs.
2 jumping on the back of that thing and acting like you're dead out of 5.
Yeah. Just because of those scenes just drag it down. I mean,
2
I love it.
out of 5.
I watch it and I love it because it is Star Wars and it's the Star Wars universe. But it's bad, and I'll give it a 2 also, 2 out of 5. It's just...
Okay, well, I didn't talk about one of my other least favorite scenes.
What?
I think Jango went out too easy.
Oh, with Mace Windu just cutting off his head. Yeah.
I mean, because he was such... Now, I have a problem with Jango because he's a bounty hunter and he hired another bounty hunter to kill somebody. Why didn't he just do it himself?
And also, he doesn't look like he's seen a
day's battle in his life. His armor's fairly shiny and clean.
Yeah.
So I did have a problem, but one of my favorite scenes from the movie is when Obi-Wan's chasing him through that asteroid field.
And then they come around.
Like, having that wow, and just that sound effect of those...
those sonic, whatever they are.
Yeah, they're like sonic
bombs or something like that. Missiles.
What are the things that the submarines have? The
depth charges.
Depth charges, like sonic depth charges. Like when they just... that is so odd. Like, those sound effects are awesome.
The only problem I have with that scene is with he's a child actor, so I'm not going to give him too much crap. Is the kid that played Boba Fett. It was like...
And he's a lot better in He's a lot better in Clone Wars. He's a lot better in Clone Wars.
Oh, in the cartoon?
Yeah. So there. The only thing that made me raise my eyebrow in Clone Wars was like, okay, those kids sound a bit too old. The voice actors for the kids, I'm like, okay, that sounds a bit odd. But 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Alright, so that wraps up our 6th episode of Red 2 Chatter.
Yep.
I'm doing too many stuff, man. I'm getting names mixed up.
Yeah, you're on too many podcasts.
And too many gaming things. Okay. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this 6th episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Jay, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. Tweet me over there at Jaybird51. It's just the letter J, BIRD 51. And also on Instagram at JWilsonByDesign.
I don't do social media. Once again.
It's going to be an on-running joke. Yeah. That's why I always look at you to say it. Okay. And you can find me on YouTube as well at Spiels to Reels. It is a podcast that I do with my sister. We talk about basically pop culture, but mostly movies. And then we also...
And Jay's also a guest on every now and then.
Yeah. And you'll be a guest eventually.
Yeah, I'll be a guest. Especially when you guys do your Star Wars one, I'll be on there.
Oh, yeah, we're going to mesh
We're going to do a joint one.
Oh, okay.
Jordan's actually going to join us on this one. Then we're going
to
on both.
It's going to be uploaded on both channels.
So. Sweet. That'll be fun.
You can also find me on YouTube at another channel called Major Glitterix. That is GLITTERIX with Major at the front. I do walkthroughs, gameplay videos with commentary, and also my sister joins me for some co-op. So, yeah, go check that out. Alright, so that wraps it up, and we'll see you guys all next time.
See you later.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the shot, all right, too.